Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name's Marissa, and today I want to talk to you about how my reading tastes have changed. Not only since I joined BookTube, but since before that. And honestly, there's a lot to unpack here. And it probably says a lot about my mental states, but that's okay. We're going to get right into it. So the first thing that I really wanted to talk about is the genre. So I used to be pretty exclusively fantasy or urban fantasy, and I used to reread books a lot. I mean, I had my favorite books and I would just reread them. It would be like a circle of, you know, Harry Potter, Harry Dresden, the Dark Swan series. I mean, it was just like a circle. I would just keep rereading them, and then when new books came out, adding them to the reread circle. And since I joined BookTube, I decided that there's a lot more out there that I can pick up and read and love and enjoy. And you know, so I still do like a good reread every now and then just to get into the familiar, to discover more about my characters and hopefully read it more in depth. But I really don't reread as often as I used to, which is nice because I get to discover new things. So anyway, that was not about genre, that was just a tangent. But so I used to read a lot of fantasy, no sci-fi, no romance, no thrillers, which is just not into them at all. And now honestly I can say the opposite. Fantasy for me right now is just kind of meh. I don't know. The fantasy books that I've been reading just seem to keep throwing me into a reading slump. So I'm going to try and steer further away from those for a little while, and then hopefully I'll get to fall back in love with fantasy at a later time. But on the other hand, I have been reading more sci-fi, like the Murderbot Diaries and Red Rising, and really enjoying them. Whereas before I was avid that I was not a sci-fi reader whatsoever. So things have changed definitely in a good way. I've also been reading romances. I mean, I read A Court of Silver Flames, and that was more a romance. And, you know, I really enjoyed reading, what is that called? Her Royal Majesty, Her Royal Highness, something along those lines. Anyway, there's quite a few romance books over the last year or two that I have read and really enjoyed. And then as far as thrillers, I have started reading a lot more thrillers, and enjoying them, thoroughly enjoying them, whereas before I was not at all. So it's definitely been very interesting. And obviously I used to read a lot more YA, and now I'm starting to read more adult novels. I am finding YA just too immature, and you know, it's very surface level stuff. It's not really like deep character development. So I think, you know, reading in the adult genre is really suiting me more so lately. And, you know, all of this is probably a product of me getting older. You know, I'm 34, gonna be 35 this year, so I kind of feel like that may be why I'm starting to slip more into the adult genre and reading more adult things. So never thought that would happen, but here we are. So another way that my tastes have changed is I really used to like reading from the first person point of view. The Harry Dresden books are, of course, a very good example and one of my favorite series, and I do really like being in Harry's head, but a lot of other books that I'm now reading that are from first person point of view, I don't really care for. It's like being in the character's head is almost too whiny, and I don't think it was done badly. I just think it's a personal preference. So yeah, I think that's changed a lot for me, is that I kind of like more of a third person point of view. So I can honestly tell you one thing that has not changed for me, and that is reading about children or being pregnant or taking care of children. It's never been my thing. It still isn't. It's just not one of those things that I really care for. It's almost like it's not, I don't know, it's not really too real world for me. It's more like me personally, I'm never having children, and I don't really care to, never did. So I think that's why I just don't enjoy reading about it in books. It's like, because children become your 100% priority, as they should, but I just don't enjoy reading about that in books. So Family relationships are not bad. I mean, when you're coming at it from the point of view of a child and thinking about the parents or the siblings or whatever, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing to me, and I do enjoy the familial relationships. I just don't really care for the, oh, everything's so great because I had kids and, you know, whatever. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Please tell me down in the comments how your reading tastes have changed and why you think that is. Is it just a product of you getting older, or do you think it's just a product of you reading more books and discovering more of what is out there? Anyway, until next time, I will see you later. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching my video. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday, and I would really love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe my videos. Have a great day.